With potential cuts on the table, the Quad Cities is rallying to protect the Rock Island Arsenal. Today, the community made its case to the Secretary of the U.S. Army, Daniel Driscoll, as he visited the arsenal. And as TV6 Investigates' Matt Christensen shows us, having the ear of the top brass could be the difference between saving jobs or gaining them.
With local leaders bracing for cuts, the U.S. Secretary of the Army visited the Rock Island Arsenal today to learn more about the base's role in critical national security. Army Secretary Daniel Driscoll toured the base with Representatives Eric Sorensen and Marionette Miller Meeks ahead of proposed cuts on the island that would eliminate hundreds of jobs. The government says cuts will help streamline the military, but Quad Cities leaders say the consolidation could harm the local economy and diminish military preparedness. About 6,000 people work on the arsenal, but it supports about 15,000 jobs, contributing $1.2 billion to the Quad Cities economy each year. Now is not the time to make the cuts, Sorensen said, since the arsenal is producing technology for modern warfare.
So now on the Rock Island Arsenal, we may be up to a point where we can build 15,000 drones like that. How important this is going to be, something that we have learned from the conflict of Russia and Ukraine, that Ukraine has been able to hold off the Russians because of their unmanned aircraft systems. We may be the #1 producer of them at the Rock Island Arsenal for our armed forces.
A Quad Cities delegation went to Washington in April to advocate for the Rock Island Arsenal. Representative Eric Sorensen and Senators Chuck Grassley, Dick Durbin, and Tammy Duckworth all signed a letter to Driscoll expressing concerns about consolidation plans. They also put hard questions to Driscoll during congressional hearings earlier this month. Senator Duckworth, a Democrat from Illinois, is a combat veteran.
Let's go stay with the same question. How many personnel will be affected, and what's the timeline of implementation? You still haven't answered me.
Senator, we're currently working on the plan. It is I would actually hypothesize there would be growth at Rock Island on a net basis.
Driscoll did not say how the proposed cuts could lead to growth. Meanwhile, the Army is expected to make a decision soon. Whatever happens, leaders in the Quad Cities are hoping for the best.
Our soldiers. And so now going forward, we need to make sure that the Army Transformation Initiative does not mean that we have a loss of jobs here. Instead, it means how can we make sure that the job and the workforce grows, because now the Secretary of the Army knows our need.
At the Rock Island Arsenal, Matt Christensen, TV6 Investigates.
Early proposals have called for merging two operations and cutting 400 jobs. The merger could affect the Joint Munitions Command, which manages the Army's munitions, and a network of depots, arsenals, and munition centers. The Army Sustainment Command manages Army logistics, putting ammunition, equipment, and food into the hands of soldiers all over the world.